Right now I'm going to share with you what is included inside of one of my groups. This group has completed all the tasks, so it's ready to be re-prepped for a new story. So when I share this with you, I want you to know that I have already met with this group 5 times, and we are ready to move on to a new story. So first, you can see these are my reading strategy cards, and whatever strategies we're working on, I include in the box, so we review them every single day. Next is a copy of the text that I use. The students all have their own version of this text in a baggie that they keep in their seat sack so they can practice when they're not meeting with me. And in this group, we were working on vowel sounds. So these are just the vowels. And so every day we flip through these and say the letter and the vowel sound. And then this is the work packet that my children have completed. So I will flip through this in a minute, but this is what the children work in. I also have journals for the children. You can see sticky notes just for privacy reasons. They all have their own journal. And next are my lesson plans. And these lesson plans are already completed. They're typed up for level C. And all I have to do, as you can see at the bottom, is just write in what I'm going to be doing comprehension wise. So the phonemic part is already completed. This is my favorite thing about my guided reading level packets, that I don't have to plan every single thing. I just have to plan what I'm going to be doing for the story in comprehension. And then this is my clipboard for this group. So why don't we begin here, and I will take you through this clipboard and how I use it. So in the front, you can see this is a tracking sheet where when the students are reading, I am taking notes of what is going on during their reading time. Their name is right here underneath this sticky note. And what I do every day is try to flip the person that's on top. That way I can make sure I'm covering and listening to everybody. During these stories, though, they're so short that sometimes I can listen to more than one student, especially if they're popcorn reading the story. So you can see here, these are the things I've noted, and these are just general notes about what I'm hearing and seeing while they're reading. Next, I have a comprehension strategy sheet, and during this story, we talked about character setting and text to self. So I keep this behind there as well. And these can be moved to different groups if the children move, just to make sure I keep track of what I've talked about with the students in small group setting. And then finally are my assessments. So this group is working at a level C, but because it's the first time that we were doing small group guided reading, I pre-assessed them at level B and level C, because I wanted to make sure they were really ready for the phonemic piece that comes along with level C. So you can see that I have this student a B and a C pre-assessment. And when I do this assessment, there is some writing that goes along with it. So I'm just going to flip and show you in this journal that sometimes they write in this journal, and I note what level it was and if it was a pre or post assessment. So this is part of the assessment in their journal. I just wanted to share that with you. So we will continue on in level C. Once I feel like they're ready for the next level, I will do a post-assessment in level C and make sure that they are ready, and then we will move on. And now these are separated because I change groups often, and students move up and down throughout the groups depending on what we're working on. But you will notice that they are hole punched, and that is because I do store these in my student data binder that I showed you earlier, and this all goes in there once we are done with that section. So let me share with you the lesson plans. So you can see I have just written in at the bottom in blue what I will be doing with the groups, and I usually plan for only 5 lessons at a time. And then I'm going to share with you a student packet. So at the top they write their name. Inside of this packet they have the letters 2 that we're reviewing every day as a visual, and the 2 focus strategies that we talk about. Now, I do include the strategies that are in levels B and A as well, but we have two that we specifically focus on while we're reading during this level. And then I open the page and you will see this is the word work section. So every day we begin by doing a little word work, and then once we're finished, we begin the story and the comprehension piece. So here we're just turtling out the word, we're rhyming, we're writing a sentence. Now this is the first time we ever did this, so we talked about maybe next time starting up here so we had room. And then we are turtling out these words and spelling them. These are all short A words. The next day we're finding missing letters, we're capitalizing and adding punctuation, and we're sorting which words have the short A sound, which words do not have the short A sound. Depending on time, if I can, I will make sure they're doing it all correctly. But sometimes if I'm really working with one student specifically, as you can see in here, Ham should have been over here. It wasn't done correctly, and that's okay. It also gives me a reference back to see, are they doing it correctly or not. And then, again, it just repeats. So there's 3 different essential lessons in a row, so they kind of spiral. And then at the back is where I put the comprehension. So for this story, we predicted what we thought was going to happen. Now, this is my lowest group, so they cannot always write everything. So they drew a picture here, and I wrote what they predicted. And then one day after reading, we talked about the characters, and we used the book to write the character names. And then we talked about the setting. And then we have already done a whole group, text to text, text to world, and text to self. So they got to choose which one they wanted to talk about. And he did a text to self connection about riding his bike. So that is everything that's included in my little buckets that I have for each reading group.